A very good evening to all you lovely audience gathered here. This is your host, Sonia Menezes, and we are all here for the seminar on insights on how to succeed in the US market, leveraging JCK's resources to achieve your goals. For today, we have the speaker, Mr. Lars Parker Myers. He is not physically available here, but it's going to be a live interactive session. And it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Mr. Lars, who's the sales director for JCK, whose expertise and passion have made him a distinguished figure in the jewelry industry. With over 2 decades of experience, Mr. Lars has consistently demonstrated his ability to understand the evolving needs of businesses and craft innovative solutions that drive growth. His in depth knowledge of the jewelry industry, coupled with his commitment to fostering strong client relationships, has earned him a reputation as a trusted advisor and leader. In his role at JCK, Mr. Lars continues to leverage his wealth of experience to deliver tailored solutions that empower businesses to thrive in a competitive marketplace. His dedication to excellence and ability to stay ahead of industry trends make him an invaluable asset to clients and colleagues alike. With that, let's welcome Mr. Lars.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person. I would have preferred to be there with you, but unfortunately, circumstances made it so that I wasn't able to be there in person. But I'm glad that I'm able to join you now and walk you through this presentation. So thank you for joining us today. If you can go on to the next slide. JCK has been the biggest show, the most important show in the US for the last 30 years. It continues to be so. It is really the gateway for jewelry companies to get into the US market. So, these are some quotes from some of our major exhibitors who have been with the show for many years. Um, it is it is the one key buying show for the industry. So if you're going to see the cross section of people in the US, this is going to be your biggest opportunity. If you can go on to the next slide. Can you advance to the next slide, please? There we go. Um, so what makes JCK such a great experience for people? It's obviously the size, but it's also that we do so much as a show to make it a full experience for everyone who's there. So it's the business. The key point is being there, but having people enjoy the time that they're there so that it's not just a must attend, but it's they want to be there. They're looking for things. So the show is more about just being in your booth. It's about engaging with different activations, events, education. So for a company who's taking part in the event, there's a wealth of opportunities for you to engage in different ways with both, with everybody who's attending and getting an understanding of the US market. Next slide, please. And this is, again, a reiteration of what that is, where we're providing these, we're making it a want to go to event versus a must attend to event. You can go to the next slide. So these are some of the key exhibitors that we have from the India market and then also Stellar, which is US. But you can see that there are key players who consistently are with us. They've used JCK as their gateway into the US market and continue to have a large presence. SRK, Laban, Venus, Hare Krishna, all of them, and Dharm, they've been in the show for many years. They've built their business. They've grown and grown with the show, and it's been an integral part of their business. And they've been very successful in doing that. If you can go on to the next slide, please. So who will you meet when you exhibit at JCK? So we have 17,000 plus unique visitors, and over 30,000 industry professionals in general. 65% are retail storefronts, and there's representation from 90 different countries. So it's predominantly a US show, but over the last, I would say, 5 years, it has become even more of an international show as the international market has changed. So we do get retailers and visitors from Mexico, from Canada, from India, from Brazil, UK, China, and more. If you could go on to the next slide, please. This gives you a little bit of an idea of what kind of the makeup is. So predominantly, the attendee at JCK is an independent jewelry store with one store. We also refer to these as mom and pop shops. So these are small businesses, but they're, the backbone of the jewelry industry. Then we have independent jewelers with 2 to 3 stores. There are online retailers, there are jewelry wholesalers, and we do have a percentage, of course, of retailers that are the multi-store chains, where they may have up to 50 stores, or then you have the large major chains like a Costco or a Walmart, and then the department stores like a Saks or Neiman's. So that represents the types of buyers that you will be connecting with at the show. And again, you can see kind of the makeup of where they're coming from internationally, and then also domestically where the majority, like the biggest chunks of representation. So California, obviously, there's a lot from California. California, of course, is right next to Nevada, so it is the closest. But then you have New York, Texas, Florida as also being very well represented. Illinois is another one that comes in close, and that's another one of the stronger markets in the US. Okay, if you can go to the next slide, please. So one of the other things that we do with the show, enriching it and providing value, is our JCK Talks, which is our education program. We put together the programming every year. We have a panel of experts who puts together relevant talks to deal with the US market, from very basic, how-to seminars to more topical and complex state of the industry panels. And those are very well attended. So definitely, I know that it's a challenge being at a show and doing the work and balancing what you need to do with the other opportunities, but this is definitely one that you should take advantage of if you can, because it does allow you to get a better insight of how the US market functions. If you could go to the next slide. The other thing that is of value at JCK is that we have a significant US press presence. So whether it's B2B representation or consumer editorial. We also have many influencers that come to the show, so that is a huge part. If you are looking to get visibility within the U.S. market and have a press strategy, then definitely you're going to be able to at least have an opportunity to meet with some of those people at the show. If you could move to the next slide, please. So here's just some example of the publications that come to the show. So, and you can advance to the next. And again, social and content creation. Uh, Social media is an incredibly important part of the jewelry industry right now. We have influencers, as you can, so many coming to the show with a huge reach. They walk around and they post what they see. Um, it is it's a way for you to get that broader reach beyond the show and use the show as a way to extend your reach. We also have, similar to what we do with education, we have social media, specifically education. So we have a whole program of how to use social media, how to take advantage of social media. Again, these are things that we offer as part of the experience of being at JCK. So it's essentially part of the package that you would be stepping into by exhibiting at JCK. If you could go on to the next slide, please. Um, so what's the experience going to be like at JCK? And how can you make the most of it? That's the most important thing, is that JCK is a gateway, but there are definitely we've tried to give you all of the tools that are going to make you successful. And there's a broad array, and it's important that as an exhibitor, you take advantage of all the different tools that are offered in order to maximize your experience. So, when you're an exhibitor, you have you have your own online profile, and you have to make sure that that profile is enriched so that people are going to be seeing it. Because one of the things about JCK is that because it's such a large show, the retailers who are coming, they plan their time before they get to the show. They don't wander around, they have an agenda. So the most important thing is trying to get their eye before the show. And we give you, as basic tools, as part of the exhibit package, we give you the options and the tools in order to increase your visibility before the show, in order to increase your likelihood of meeting with the buyers that you want to see. So we have um, we have customer success specialists. So these are people who are specifically assigned to you, to help you, guide you through the process, talk about all the different tools that are there and how to utilize them. We have digital solutions that are helping you to the directory. So the online directory, the exhibitor listing page, is definitely one of the most visited on the website. We get towards, as the in the months leading up to the show, that page gets hundreds of thousands of impressions. So that is the first touch. So even before you're showing up at the show, your visibility and what you can do to make yourself more visible in that platform is essential. So the marketing opportunities, so the booth obviously is your home, but the opportunities beyond it are going to be much more, are going to help you get beyond that space and reach the broader audience and the broader market. And we are all of our team is on hand to help you and guide you through this experience. Um, we have our fantastic India team, which Quinny D'Souza and her team, Sujita Kakirde, Manali Mishra, Tripti Dumadia, Nikita Vitkar, all led by Sapni Kirtan. They're a fantastic team. We work hand in hand with them. They are experts, and they are there in India to help you. And of course, we in the US, the broader team, we're all one big team that's dedicated to making it a success for you. Okay, if you can go to the next slide. So, as you're approaching the US market and as you're considering exhibiting at JCK, it's important for you to really distill what is the most important thing. What are you looking to achieve? Really try to create a plan that's specific. Obviously, everybody wants to sell. That's basic. But what's the most important thing that you're looking for? Is it that you want to generate leads? Are you looking for brand visibility? Or do you have a new product that you really want to showcase? So these are all things, these are ideas. Of course, it can be, doesn't have to be these things, but it could be a combination. But as a plan, when you're approaching the market, really try to think about what it is that's most important. And then we will then craft a plan to help you get to what it is that you want. And we can work on the specifics of getting you there. If you can go to the next slide. So there you can see what you need to think about is creating a holistic approach to the US market and creating a year-round strategy. You may have success by coming to the show and exhibiting, and that's it. You know, but to really have a larger approach is going to broaden your scope and it's going to increase your chances of a bigger business. What retailers are looking for um, is a few things. They're looking for companies that they can trust. They're looking for companies that will deliver what they need. So they're looking for those signs of staying power. If they only see someone at the show one time and then they don't see them after that, that's going to that's going to be, it'll be a detriment to your US market strategy. So again, depending upon what it is that you want to achieve and how much you're looking to be in the market, um, using this idea of a year-round approach versus just showing up at the show and then going is going to increase your chances for success at the show. Next slide, please. So then these are some of the solutions that we offer to help you with those specific things. So education, signage at the show, obviously, product showcases, JCK online activations, JCK magazine. So JCK Online, we partner, JCK is partnered with JCK Magazine, which has been an industry standard for over 100 years. The show itself is named after the magazine. It has always been the content provider and the industry leader when it comes to news. As we've evolved, JCK Magazine has gone down to one print edition, but everything else is now online. So this is the year-round presence that we're talking about, where the content that our audience is looking at, the news, how they're staying current in the market. They are looking to JCK Online, and anyone who has visibility on that platform is going to have an added benefit when they're showing at the show because it's going to be a continual reminder that, of who you are, what you do, what kind of products you offer. And those are the things that you need to be able to clearly show is what is it? What products do you have? What kind of products do you have? So that the retailers, the buyers know because they may be looking for specific products. So whatever you can do to guide them to you, any kind of descriptions of what it is, like why is it that your product is better than another product? What is it about your company that is better than another company? So these are all things that you need to clearly message in as many ways as you can in order to give the retailers that knowledge before they even see you at the show. Of course, having a conversation in person is a valuable part of that, but utilizing the other options that we have to message that out is also incredibly important to the success of your business. Next slide, please. So, digital solutions, as I was saying, your booth is just the beginning. The booth is an essential part, of course, but it's just one component. And you have to think of the show as an ecosystem. So if you show up at the show and you do nothing else but just show up, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage and just hoping that the retailers will come to see you. Again, you may have success, but you are not taking full advantage of all the tools to increase your percentage of success at the show and in the market. It's a big market. It's a big show. The fact that it's a big market, obviously, is the thing that's good about it. The US is a very powerful market. It's one of the strongest markets in the globe right now. So that makes it, it has continued buying power, but it's big. So your approach to such a big market has to be one that, takes into account all of the others that are also vying for the business. The same thing at JCK. JCK is a big show. It is the key buying show in the industry. There's nothing else. There are no other events in all of the Americas that come close to what JCK offers in terms of getting that number of people in the building at the same time from all of the key retailers, buyers, wholesalers in the industry. So again, it's about taking advantage of as many of the tools that we offer to increase your chances for success. So if you can go to the next slide, please. So there are things that are included in a booth package, and then of course, there are things that are added services that you can buy into. And what I'll do is I'll talk to you about some of the ones that are included. So exhibitor dashboard. Um, this is something that is included with your booth package. Essentially, you can look at the stats of your exhibitor listing. So you can see how many people have visited. You can see you have the ability to upload products to your directory, to your listing. You can see how many people viewed a certain product. If you have 5 products on, there may be one product that people clicked on much more than the others. That gives you an idea of what is resonating and what is not. You have the ability to change that. So what we're doing is with the exhibitor dashboard, we're giving you, again, tools and metrics that you can use to gauge the success of what it is that you're putting online on your listing leading up to the show. Lead manager. This is, again, something that's included in a booth package. On site, we give you an app that you download onto your phone. You scan badges, and it is a way for you to, instead of collecting business cards, you scan the badge and you have the information of the lead. That way you don't lose it. You can manage all your leads, and then you compile them at the end of the show so that you have a clear sense of everybody that you met with during the show. Lead booster. This is a paid opportunity where you can provide what's called a show special in order to attract more leads. I'll explain a little bit more about that one. And then exhibitor profile. This, of course, is your online listing where You are describing your company. You're saying what it is that you offer. You give a description of your company. You upload photos. You can upload white papers. Anything that you can do to enrich this listing is going to be advantageous to you. There is a basic level, and then you can upgrade for added visibility. All right, if you can go on to the next slide. So here again is the dashboard. And it's about mastering your event performance. So you're seeing you can have pre-show preparation, you get real-time insights, you can have post-show analysis. So again, this is giving you the tools leading up to the show to say what's working, what have I, how is my directory functioning? Are people seeing it? What are the steps I can do to make sure that I'm getting a better performance? Again, our team can help you to walk through this. So like customer success can give you basic support. Our sales team can talk to you about what might be helpful for you to change. But again, this is a tool that we offer that's part of your exhibit package. That's an essential part of your success at the show and in the market. If you can go on to the next slide. So lead manager. Again, this is the scanning app that I told you about, where you scan the buyers that come to your show, so you don't have to collect business cards and potentially lose them. The other scanning service we have is something called Collect. And this is the way that works is you have a QR code at your booth, and then the attendees can scan your information. They may see you on their way to another appointment and want to get your information, but they don't have time to stop. They can scan that QR code and then have you on their list. And then of course, that helps the lead as well. And then with Lead Booster, again, this is a way for you to enhance your lead generation. It is a paid opportunity. If you wanted to create a special, like in order to attract more leads, this is something that our sales team would be able to talk to you about. Okay. Next slide. So Lead Booster, again, this is what our sales team could tell you more about. So it's about crafting a particular offer that's going to get the type of people that you want. Again, we offer tools, but we also try to help you with making the tool suit your specific needs. So, some companies may want to meet as broad a range of people as they want. So they may offer like free sunglasses, but some people may say, well, I only want to attract a certain number of people. So we'll help you to craft an offer that is more suited to maybe like a smaller group of people, but more specific and more, something that pertains to them. So our team is, again, on hand to help you with these particular products. Next slide, please. So these are the exhibitor profiles. So when you sign up for the show, there's three different types. There's the standard exhibitor profile, there's a priority profile, and there's the priority plus profile. These are upgrade opportunities. For new companies, we do include the priority profile to give new companies an edge in their first year of attending. And it allows the way that the listings work on our website is that the priority profiles and the priority plus profiles, there's a randomized system where they go to the top of the exhibitor list every time. So they get that added visibility. And that's essential. And you get a bigger You get more functionality. Again, it's a way of increasing your visibility leading to the show, which is a very, very valuable part of increasing your chances of success. Um, Next slide, please. So again, we we have all these different tools that are optimizing your participation at the show. And we're on hand to help you with that. So we're here to help you access your profile, completing your profile. There's there's a part of your profile where it shows you the percentage of completion. We want you to get to 100. That's the way that you know. So we guide you along there saying, okay, well, you're only 50% of the way, you're 70% of the way. So the idea is that every exhibitor should get to 100% completion. And that means filling out all of the information, uploading a company logo, making sure you have your contact details, any links, company descriptions, um, any then you upload any images or videos or documents showing what it is that you have. Again, give the buyers as much information about what it is you offer, who you are, what sets you apart from others, so that they have the information before the show and they don't have to wait to talk to you at the show, um, so that they can have a clear idea when they're planning their agenda to come to the show. Anything that you can do to get on their agenda before the show is essential for your success at the show. Um, okay, next slide, please. So this gives you just a snapshot of the difference of how these profiles look, standard versus priority plus. Um, and you can just see that as you upgrade, you get more visibility. Okay, the next slide, please. So I realized that there was a lot of content there, but I wanted to give us plenty of opportunity for you to ask questions, both broad and specific about the show. So if there are any questions that you may have, please, if you can let me know, and I'll answer them as best I can.
Does the audience have any questions? If not, then we can conclude for today. Okay, we have one question.
Uh, Hello, I'm Vijay. I'm a jeweler in Bangalore. Well, the this year JCK, we would love to be a part of it, provided the visa and the kind of long waiting to come to the 3 years back I was there, but again Hong Kong show also I could attend along with it because it was in the month of September and again this was at around October. But now it's in June and getting a visa is a trouble. If there is a possibility, well, something to do from the invite perspective, we many of Indian jewelers can be a part of the JCK.
Yes, we do realize that the visa issue is a problem. We're working with the State Department. We're trying to figure out a plan of action to help lower the visa waiting time to ease the process. Um, it's a challenge because we don't necessarily have direct connections. Um, but we're working on creating a process where we can help exhibitors. And for us, of course, The challenge is that we don't want you to necessarily sign up for the show and then not be able to do it. We want to make sure that, companies who sign up for the show have their visas and know for sure that they're able to come. Um, that's an important thing for us. So what I can say is we are working on the issue. We're trying to lower the wait times, but working with the U.S. Government is a challenge, and we're trying, and we're we're working with other. We're working with CISO, which is another industry trade show organization, partnering with them, because obviously it doesn't just affect JCK. There are other industries, like outside of the jewelry industry. There are other industries within that do trade shows in the US that are affected by the same challenges that we have with the visa process. So we are working on a strategy of trying to improve that.
One more, it's not a question, it's a suggestion. Well, we can, of course, the technology is so high that we are now only conversing from here to there. If we can have something like this of a virtual tour with a cost of so and so, many jewelers in India who can't make it up to the JCK can at least have a virtual see through and take a decision and kindly support that kind with then once an interaction or a decision is defined, well, I would like to buy so and so pearls and so and so products, the next it can become simple. They can have a Skype call to between the exhibitor and the end consumer. At least from the forum, you guys can try to do some initiative for the jewelers to be a part of the JCK with a cost. That's fine, but it will.
Understood. Certainly during COVID, we attempted to do something similar because everybody was having the same restrictions. Um, it we found various challenges with that. What I would say is right now is that even though there isn't anything exactly like what you're describing, but we do have many online opportunities for you to begin getting your presence in the US market. So even though you're not able to physically attend, there are many online options and tools that you can currently take advantage of to be able to connect with retailers and schedule maybe your own private Zoom call, your own private Skype call. But then you're doing the first step of establishing that connection and making yourself known within the US market. So those tools are available to you, someone in your situation. And then that would help you once you're finally able to get a visa, then you've already started building yourself in the US market. And then there's more likelihood that when you are able to attend at the show, you've done that legwork. So rather than waiting until the time that you can physically come to the US, then you build up your network beforehand.
Hello, um, this is Shubham this side. I just recently started the business of export, so I'm dealing in three products: imitation jewelry, ladies' purse, and home decor. Um, since I've come in this event, so I want to know. Since I started my company, I had a very concrete thought in my mind that I'm not going to deal in India. I want to crack the market outside India, US, Canada, Australia, all the bigger countries. Um, but although I'm facing some sort of challenges, uh, I have talked to a few of the people, and they are saying that you can list your products on Amazon or eBay, all those, like the global platforms. But the problem with me is I'm a merchant exporter, and the designs keeps on changing. Even if I go for Amazon, like within a month or 2 months or 3 months, the design they do change, and the manufacturers, they are not going to give me the catalogs every month. So how do I, in that situation, how do I crack the market of US or like Canada, UK? whatever the market is, excluding India. So how do I do that? And that is a sort of big challenge for me, because it is all dealt with the designs. Even if I list a product in Amazon, let's suppose a necklace or whatever it is, even if I list it and the manufacturers are not having that design, so it will be a problem for me if they are putting it in the buy list, or they are putting it in the cart. So that is a challenge for me. So is there any way that I could bypass this problem?
Well, this seems like a
Uh,
supply chain issue, if I'm understanding, because if the manufacturers aren't able to produce what it is that you're asking them to produce, that seems to be your particular challenge. So I think that that's something that you would have to work out within your business model is, you know, whatever it is that you're selling, you have to have a clear, I mean, there has to be an understanding that it can be produced and fulfilled. So that's unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying, it sounds like a production and a fulfillment issue.
Correct, correct. So although the designs keep on changing and you can't stick to one design, there are a lot of designs in the jewelry market. Um, I think you are getting me what I want to say.
Yeah, no, I understand, but that's something that you would have to work out with the manufacturers that you are partnered with. So you need to be able to find a manufacturer who's going to be nimble enough to be able to change at the speed that you want them to change. So that challenge is you have to find a manufacturer that's going to be able to move at the speed that you want them to move.
Apart from that, apart from Amazon and eBay, is there any other way I could market my products? Although I have given a developer to make a website, but that is not an e-commerce website. And again, the challenge is coming with the products. So is there any other way to bypass that problem?
Well, I mean, it sounds like you're having a direct to consumer. I mean, this is your approach, right? Is that you're trying to reach the consumer right away through these bigger platforms of Amazon and such. And, you know, to go through the route of, another, I mean, there are other online platforms that you could explore. um, I don't have expertise on what those other online platforms are. That's something that you would have to research. We do have online retailers who are coming to JCK. So there are a number of them outside of, the ones that you mentioned. So you could explore those. Otherwise, you may want to look into establishing other types of connections, working with a retailer, and exploring what the options are there. But again, I think what you really need to focus on first and foremost is the production issue. Before you even go to the other route, you need to get your production in line with being able to fulfill.
Hello. Good, greetings of the day, gentlemen. My name is Ankit, and I represent Skill Institute of India. During your presentation, I found that under the title of JCK Education, I believe that there should be one or the other platform wherein Indian expert or Indian gems and jewelry experts who have who has the expertise in certain areas in certain subjects in terms of gems and jewelry, they should be having one or the other windows as you are interacting here in IIGS talk. So there should be some window wherein JCK talks or maybe JCK knowledge forum would provide them a platform to deliver what knowledge that they possess. Maybe it can be during the JCK show, it can be after the JCK show, and that knowledge and that that information related to that particular subject would be released on the social media, and that would surely benefit the whole industry. I believe that that should be some window, as in you are interacting with Indian people right now, so there should be some other window wherein JCK should have that platform.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we have certainly done we've done that in the past. That has been part of our education program. We can certainly do that if you want to pass on your information. I can pass that on to our events and conference manager. Um, and you can check to see what the programming is already for this year. But we're always looking for options, and any way that we can include what's relevant right now to the market, we will. So absolutely, we'll take that into consideration.
All right, last that was the last question, and we conclude this session. I would like to thank you for your time today. Although we'd love to have you here, but nonetheless, thank you for your time, for your efforts, and it was indeed an insightful session. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a happy evening today. Yeah,
Uh,
and thank you
all
to
right.
all the audience. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. Just in addition, kindly note, we also have a few sessions lined up for tomorrow. So do attend, and I hope to see you all in large numbers. Thank you. Have a great evening.